This is the routine that improved my hair health and hair growth. Now, welcome or welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through ways in which you can retain length and also improve healthy hair growth. I'm starting off with matted hair, so there's a lot of detangling to do. Now, hydration is one of the most important steps in hair care, and every time you're going to touch your hair, make sure that you spray your hair with water before anything else. Now, this is to make sure that my hair is a little bit more softer, so when I now hydrate my hair, it's now a lot more easier to work with. Just like that, after hydrating, I just stretch it out a little bit just like that, and then now I'm going to be working in sections. And there's a part where a lot of people think that Afro hair it's difficult to work with because they either detangle their hair dry or with just water alone. Now, working with each and every section, I'm going to start by stretching out my hair just like that, and that is to make sure that I at least loosen the tangles, just so that when I now go with the comb, it's so much easier and I don't break off a lot of hair. Now I'm going to follow up with the aloe vera gel just so that my hair is slippery enough, and then now when I'm going to detangle, it's going to go in my hair very smooth just like that. Now for this process, if you do not have aloe vera gel to detangle, you can also use flexi gel. Just make sure that whatever that you're going to be using to detangle, it's a water-based product, and it's going to be so much easy to wash out. Since this is a pre-poo treatment, that means after this we're going to shampoo, so you don't want to be using heavy oils and butters, things that are not going to be easy to detangle just like that. Now going with the comb, you can actually see how easy it goes in, and you can actually see that it doesn't break off a lot of hair. That is because the hair is slippery. If it was just water alone, in most cases it was just going to make detangling less painful, but it was not going to make much of a difference when it comes to breakage. So using something has slip has a very good advantage to it, just like that. I'm going to add more on the aloe vera gel, and then now when I detangle with the wide tooth comb, I always detangle from the tips all the way to the roots of my hair, just like that. Do not start at the roots and then pull the comb all the way out, because that way it's going to cause a lot of tangles while you're detangling, and then at the ends of your hair there are going to be a lot of knots, and then you're going to be ripping that out, and then that is what is causing a lot of breakage, and that is something that you definitely need to work on. So just like that, just repeat the process on each and every section. And the reason why after all the detangling I put my hair into twist is just so that my hair does not shrink back, because remember, you're going to now detangle your hair, and if you're not going to put that section that you detangled in a twist, it's going to shrink down, and when it shrinks down, since the hair is coily, it's going to tangle right back up. So that is something that you do not want. Once you detangle your hair, you want it to remain detangled just like that, and throughout your whole wash day process, this is just going to make your routine a lot more easier. So if Afro hair has been difficult for you to handle, just try this technique. Detangle your hair before working with it, put it into twists, and you will definitely see how easy your wash day routines are going to be. And if you've tried aloe vera gel before and it was itchy, especially on your scalp, that is most likely because you did not soak it in water. So next time you're going to use it, make sure that you soak it for at least about an hour before you can actually use it into your hair. So you're going to soak it, and then when you rinse the water, you can actually see that it's going to turn a little bit of yellowish. That is something that is making your scalp to be itchy. So after doing all of that, now you can then prepare your aloe vera gel, and then you'll be ready to use just like that. But if you do it like that and you still notice that your scalp is still itchy, you need to discontinue it, and then now you can just focus on using flexi gel only. And in all honesty, hair breaks a lot, especially when it's allowed to be matted for a while. So if you let your hair be, or you wear your hair out for about a whole week, you're going to notice that at some point your hair is no longer as stretchy or elastic. It's going to be stiff at some point, and that is because your hair has tangled up a whole lot and so bad that now you need to actually work on it before you continue styling it. However, it gets to that point, and that is where a lot of people continue wearing it out even though it has reached its limit. So it's very good that you know your Afro hair, you know what works for it, and also at the same time remember to go back to hair care. And if you're a beginner trying to grow your hair, it's been difficult for you, you're trying to figure it out, do not not wear your hair out more often. Just do it occasionally, only when you feel like it. Only when you feel like there's a day that you want to know how good your hair looks, only then. But if it's a daily thing, forget about hair growth because your hair is going to break like crazy. So you definitely need to know the type of hair that you have, and most importantly, do not complicate hair care. Do not be trimming your hair every week, every month, feeling like the ends are dead or things like that. If you're not always using heat, or you're not stripping off your hair, or you're not always pulling it, your ends will just be fine. You only need to trim your hair only when you see that your ends are dead, and that is because you're constantly using heat. But if you're not over manipulating your hair, your ends are just fine and they don't need trimming. That is from me to you. I've never trimmed my hair with this afro and my hair is growing just fine. There is no way you're going to be able to grow your hair if you keep on cutting it, unless you can visibly see the damage. But if you can't, you don't have any business with a scissor. So just like that, love your hair, take care of it, know all the basics. You don't need to complicate hair care. You don't need to know this and that. Just the basic way of how to wash, how to detangle, how to moisturize, doing a good protective hairstyle. That is all you need. The basic way is the way to go, and that is just how you're going to be able to grow long and healthy hair. But once you start complicating it and you're doing this and that, mixing this and that, it's going to be a long way for you to go. Now I'm done with all the detangling, and this is not a leave-in pre-poo. I'm just going to wash it out, and I'm not going to leave it for a few minutes. So just like that, once I'm done, the next step is just to go straight into shampooing. But before then, this is the comb that I use, and that was the total of hair that came out of my hair while I was detangling. So follow all the steps of detangling and your breakage will also reduce greatly, just like that. Now to shampoo, I'm going to be using the DIY African Black Soap shampoo, and I did show how I made this in the previous video. It's just dissolving the African black soap, but if you want more details, just go through there and you'll definitely see how I actually made this shampoo. Now shampooing my hair, I'm going to wet my hair, and then now when I'm going to follow with the shampoo like this, it's just going to start lathering very well onto my hair, just like that. And after all of that, the first thing that I'm going to do is just get a scalp massager, and then I'm just going to scrub on my scalp very well, getting rid of all that excess buildup, excess dirt. Just make sure that my scalp is actually getting clean enough, and that is what mainly this first shampooing is about, because I'm going to be shampooing my hair twice. So this is also about getting all the excess pre-poo treatment, all the excess buildup and all of that. This is just all about it. So I'm just going to get to the first section. You know how they used to apply relaxer in our hair when they're relaxing our hair? That is how you're going to be shampooing your hair out and getting all that dirt out. So just like that, I'm just going to remove all the excess foam, and then I'm going to rinse my hair easy and nice, just like that. And it's very much important that I rinse out my hair very well, just to make sure that all the dirt goes down with the water, just like that. Now I'm just going to take down the twist because I feel like I need to wash my hair very well. But while doing this, you need to make sure that you're going to be stretching out your hair while you're working with it throughout. So just like that, after taking the twist, I'm going to rinse out my hair again, just like that. And then now I apply the shampoo. You can actually see how much it foams up. It actually foams up a whole lot compared to when I was starting to apply it with the first shampooing. And this is to show you that there's not much dirt left in my hair, and that is why it's actually foaming up a whole lot, just like that. So shampooing twice is very much important to get rid of all the excess dirt and to make sure that your hair is very clean. And it's also very much important that you use a gentle shampoo and not one that is going to leave your hair all stripped off. Just like that, I'm just going to rinse with a shirt because it's a lot more gentle compared to a towel. Now I'm going to prepare my deep conditioning hair mask. It's just a deep conditioner with moringa powder, and then I'm just going to apply it to my hair in sections, just like that. Now after all the shampooing, you can actually see how clean my hair is, and now I'm just going to section my hair to make it a lot more easier for me to apply the treatment. Just like that, I'm just going to section my hair in 4 blocks just like that, and this is how I'm actually going to moisturize and apply this deep conditioner into my hair, and more hydration just to make sure that the deep conditioner actually works very well in my hair. And moringa powder helps so much when it comes to hair strengthening, so the reason why I'm using it into my deep conditioner is just so that it's easy to wash out compared to if I was using it in a pre-put treatment. For example, if I used it in an oil to do a hot oil treatment, it was going to be a lot more harder to rinse out. So using it as a deep conditioner just like that, it's so much easier to actually rinse it out of your hair just like that. So if you want to try this, do not use it with butters and oils as a pre-put treatment. During this process, best way to go about it, unless you want to infuse it in your butters and oils to moisturize, that is another best way to go about it. So just like that, I'm just going to apply this treatment into my hair, easy and nice, and I'm just going to leave it in my hair for about 20 to 30 minutes, and just like that, it would have just done enough. When it comes to a deep conditioner, do not leave it in your hair longer than an hour, especially more often. Don't make it a habit that you actually leave a deep conditioner in your hair longer. Remember, a deep conditioner has chemicals in it that helps to make managing 4C hair a lot more easier and to introduce moisture into the hair. So when you leave it in your hair a lot more longer, it's going to over soften your hair, and now when you're working with your hair that is way too soft, it's going to break a whole lot. So you need to know that a deep conditioner is good when it comes to this spot, but if you overdo it, it's going to be a bad thing. Now just like that, I'm just going to rinse it out. While I'm going to be rinsing out this deep conditioner, I'm just going to make sure that I rinse it out thoroughly and I no longer feel the foam of it in my hand. So just like that, all the rinsing is done, and I'm just going to get my hair out just like that. You can actually see just by that my hair is already starting to look a lot more smooth. So after all the rinsing, you can actually see how bouncy and smooth my hair is and how good it's stretching. Compared to when I started, my hair was not stretching like this. It was not this elastic, and I really needed to do this routine. It was time I hydrate. It was time I moisturize. So just like that, the final step of my moisture routine is moisturizing my 4C hair. And just like that, I'm going to be taking you through steps and steps on how to properly moisturize 4C hair. Now, I'm just going to be working into smaller sections just like that. I'm going to start by applying an unrefined shea butter onto my hair. This is the butter that I use, although I mixed mine with a little bit of chili powder and castor oil just to make my DIY hair butter. And then now I'm just going to follow with my DIY growth oil. It's just castor oil, olive oil, and a little bit of chili powder in it. And then now I'm just going to do what I call the final detangling. This is the proper detangling that I do weekly. This is when I only detangle my hair. So just like that, throughout the week, it's either I'm going to put my hair in a good protective hairstyle, or even though I want to wear my hair out, I'm not going to be needing to detangle my hair. So just like that, going to each and every step, I'm just going to be moisturizing my hair easy and nice, just like that. And when it comes to moisturizing 4C hair, as much as you want to do it the porosity way, on how to do it when it comes to low porosity or how to do it when it comes to high porosity, the thing is that for most people, they do not have the same porosity throughout their hair. That is why sometimes when they want to do what works for low porosity, their hair might actually demand for what is working for high porosity. And that is so confusing, especially for a beginner. Learning all the porosity and everything that is complicated, that's a lot of work. For me, I actually did a number of testings when it comes to porosity, and my results were different. Now, imagine someone that actually did that once and they actually thought their hair porosity is a certain way. If you know what I'm talking about, that is it. That is why I'm always going for the basic things when it comes to hair care. That way you can never go wrong with it. Same as when it's now coming to how to properly moisturize. You just go with the butter on your hair. Make sure that you stretch your hair nicely when you're moisturizing it. That is to make sure that the hair butter is actually distributed evenly into your hair. And then now I'm just going to follow with the oil to lock in moisture. That is to ensure that my hair is going to be properly moisturized for at least a whole week. Or if I need to moisturize my hair more, it's not going to be more than twice a week because the moisture is going to stay in my hair long enough. But if you want to be complicating it, that you need to do it a certain way, this and that, add this and that, we're just going to be complicating hair care. We're just going to be complicating everything that has to do with the basic way of actually going around the Afro basic hair care routine. So just like that, putting my hair into twists after all the moisturizing and detangling, this now works as my basic protective hairstyle, just so that if I don't feel like I have the strength the next day to actually put my hair in a good protective hairstyle, at least my hair is not out, it's not getting matted and all of that, it's in twists just like that. So when I feel like I have enough strength to actually do a good protective hairstyle for the week, I can easily just take the twist out and my hair will still be properly detangled, and just like that I can style my hair however that I want. And these are the hairstyle ideas that I can say you need to try. As a beginner, you can start by doing the African threading just by using a wool to style your hair, or you can just go for the basic twist just the way that I'm doing. It will just be good enough. Just make sure that you stay away from cornrows. They're not going to be good for your hairline because they actually pull back and they actually also pull up at the back. So you find that at the back is also pulling your hair. So it's a good protective hairstyle when we're talking about the hair in general, but when we're talking about the hairline area and the back, it's not so good for everyone. So it might work for some people, but if it does not work for you, change it. Go for something that is a lot more loose, something that is not tight onto your hair. And also at the same time, stay away from fibers, stay away from hairpiece. Any hairstyle that has to do with hairpiece, make sure that you do that only occasionally, but do not let that be your protective hairstyles. It's not going to be good for your hairline, things like that. So just make sure that whatever that you're going to be doing, it's a gentle protective hairstyle and it's just so good onto your hair, just like that. Something that is presentable, something that is actually looking very nice, just like that. So this is me doing my final section, just like that, going with the butter, applying it onto my hair very well, just like that. And then now I'm just going to follow with the oil, moisturizing my hair very well. Now I'm also going to be detangling. This is a step-by-step on how to properly moisturize fuzzy hair. So follow the routine just the way that I'm showing you, and you're going to see good results when it now comes to your hair growth and length retention. Just like that, the protective hairstyle for a few days before I actually figure out what I'm going to do. So remember all the steps, just like that. Now, after moisturizing my hair, I'm just going to oil my scalp because it needs moisture as well. Just like that, you don't want your scalp to be getting ashy and all of that. So you need to properly moisturize your scalp as much as you're moisturizing your hair. So just like that, easy and nice, your hair is looking nice and healthy, and the growth is going to be so good, so well. Continue to keep taking care of your hair. And if you're still a beginner and still struggling and trying to figure things out, do let me know what you struggle with the most in hair care, and I'll be here to help.